Since the start of the pandemic, hundreds of child care facilities have been forced to close their doors for one reason or another. And that begs the question, how will the industry bounce back once things eventually get back to normal? Joining us to talk about that is the executive director of the YMCA San Diego's Child Care Resource Service, Kim McDougal. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
So, Kim, of course, as you know, there are multiple reasons why child care providers are struggling or have even closed. Can you explain to folks what those reasons are?
Sure, absolutely. So, childcare has always played a really critical role for parents, children, employers, and our economy. And we're really clearly now seeing how important childcare is to keeping us engaged in our workplace and keep our economy strong. And the industry has really struggled for forever. Really, it's never been an industry that is set up to thrive in terms of its income. It's always kind of been on the edge. And since the pandemic, we have had over 535 childcare providers close in San Diego County. And a little bit about what that might look like. So family childcare providers can be providing care in their home. So it looks like a small business run out of a family home, most often run by women of color who are earning poverty level wages, up to a large childcare chain. So there's a wide variety of care provided in the community, and they're all being deeply impacted by this pandemic. And we know the economy can't rebound without childcare. The childcare industry also cannot endure without support. We're hearing from providers that they're really experiencing reduced revenue due to group size limitations to keep children and providers safe, decreased enrollment due to family fear and unemployment. They're being really impacted by the 14-day quarantine. They're having to go into multiple 14-day quarantine periods, which, if they're funded by state dollars, can often impact their revenue, or parents may just decide to take their children out of care. And really, our providers are really carrying our distance learning in this county right now. Children that are engaging in distance learning are often doing it in a family childcare home or in a group setting. And that is, an additional cost to providers, including cost for cleaning supplies, extra food costs. They're just really, really struggling to cover basic operations and keep their doors open.
And Kim, you touched on the ripple effect. So obviously child care providers are suffering financially right now, but in terms of economic recovery, there's so many parents in this county who rely on child care providers so they can go to work, and that would inject energy into the economy as we try to recover through this pandemic. That would be a problem if there just aren't enough child care providers to go around.
Absolutely. As a working mom, I understand that it is very hard to work when your children are home. And if we are at a point where we can really engage back in the workplace and help our economy thrive again, it will not happen without childcare. It is a critical foundation for our society and for our economy. And I think now more than ever, it's clear. And if we do not do something as a community to help support our providers in terms of an infusion of funding, if new federal dollars come from the federal government, really understanding that childcare undergirds our economy and that investments are needed to keep it afloat, I think is imperative if we're going to have an economic rebound.
Kim, what are you suggesting? What specifically would you like to see to help this industry?
So we saw some really great benefits to providers with a recent infusion that the County of San Diego put in of CARES dollars. It was up to $25 million worth of vouchers that went directly to childcare providers to help them cover these additional costs they're incurring and their decreased revenue. And providers are telling us, I thought I was going to have to close, but now I am able to pay my mortgage and stay open another month. This will help me pay bills and helps replace revenue that I was unable to earn because I had been closed down for 14 days, because of quarantine. And so, the more we can, garner this financial support that gives providers kind of this infusion of just basic operating funding from county dollars, from federal dollars, from philanthropic dollars. Philanthropy has been very generous. And really, I think employers, like, this is an opportunity for us to think about how our employers are supporting their employees with childcare, and what does that look like financially? What does that look like in terms of being able to support flexible schedules? and really the role that employers play that is, I think, somewhat untapped right now that we could definitely enhance.
Well, hopefully everything will come together because it's certainly necessary. Kim McDougal, thank you so much. We appreciate your thoughts.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.